I've returned to the scene of the crime. Not really a crime. I was walking on this trail the other day, and coming down from the road was a mom with her son that looked to be about 4 years old. And I started to walk up the trail, and the little boy caught eye contact with me, stopped in his tracks, and started to say, "Mommy, people, 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 mommy, people, people," as I walked by. And he immediately went into a full-blown panic attack. Now, how do you help your kids overcome irrational fear? I'm a nice mom. I have 5 kids. I help homes. I love kids. I'm one of the safest people to be around kids on the planet. So how do you help a child that has an irrational fear? One of our kids was that scaredy cat child. And the 2 irrational fears that he had, the first one was umbrellas. Discovered in the midst of a torrential downpour, and he suddenly thought the umbrella was Tyrannosaurus Rex and it had come out to eat him alive. And then the other irrational fear was balloons, war balloons. So how can you help a child that has an irrational fear? Balloons are not going to eat you. An umbrella is not going to hurt you. And walking by people on the trail when you're holding your mommy's hand, when you're safe and sound, that you're safe. So how can you help your child overcome your fears? I'm going to encourage you that whenever you spot an irrational fear, number 1, console your child in that moment. And then get your creative wheels turning and design activities or opportunities for them to practice that same thing over and over again until it's conquered. It was not okay for my son to be terrified of umbrellas because we lived in California and it never rains in California. It pours. And so the buckets of water that were coming down required an umbrella. Unlike Washington State, where I live, you can tell a tourist because they're the ones carrying an umbrella. It's raining today, but I don't have an umbrella. So it was irrational for him to be so terrified of an umbrella or balloons. So what did I do? Starting with the umbrella, I got one and I opened it and I put it at the end of the hallway, which of course for about a few days stopped him from going down the hallway altogether. So I could have used it as kind of like a baby gate, but I didn't. Then I moved the umbrella closer and closer each day. Eventually, he was able to coexist with the umbrella. And then it turned into his favorite toy. It took a long time though. It took weeks to show him that this umbrella, and I have no idea why it was a trigger for him, but it was. Same thing with balloons. It was irrational for him to be afraid of balloons. So after consoled and after he rested, I went to the store and I bought a really big Mylar balloon. Is that right? Mylar balloon. And then I put it in the corner of the house and I slowly moved it toward him over the course of a week. When that balloon died, I got another balloon and I kept doing that until eventually, he could actually hold balloons, and then suddenly he realized they were okay. If your child has an irrational fear, don't try to correct them in that moment. The second their brain goes into fight or flight, you cannot rationalize with somebody that's having a panic attack. You have to get over the panic attack and then design opportunities for them to practice, and it's worth practicing. This little boy that was on this trail the other day should not be terrified of people. And granted, I have no history, no background. I have no idea of his condition. I don't know his emotional state. I don't know his family history. However, even that is something that needs to be coached over the course of probably months, where inch by inch, day by day, he comes in contact with other people. And it's something that you role play at home and then you start to exercise out and about. So irrational fears, figure out a way to practice at home and watch your kids have success.